Okay, hi. This is Michael Ellis. Um, I've just been doing some channeling recently. When I was setting up my last sort of experiment for growing plants without light, kind of like etherically. Well, I guess so far I've done some setups with like wires or capacitors. My latest I've done is I felt a really nice energy coming from strings of capacitors. It gives off a really nice warm energy that's not harsh like resistors or like putting neon bulbs or resistors or stuff like that on the lines. But capacitor strings really give a nice energy. And yeah, I got the idea from both the capacitors. Well, this is basically like a big capacitor, these metal sheets, um, creating like a capacitor, and then like putting water between it. Um, just using that for my water storage. But doing the same thing with one plate underneath and one plate above. Um, Sort of building upon the capacitor thing like Galen Hieronymus did, where he had one plate above, one plate below, um, and connected to the outdoors and then to the water pipe. So it kind of formed like a complete circuit with a capacitor. But that doesn't seem to be working if I connect it to the orgonite and then back, or just to like a battery or something to ground it. That doesn't seem to be working. But then I was channeling back the same voice or spirit or whatever you want to call it, and intelligence, I guess, would be the best word for it. And um, and then I asked, um, capacitor, strings of capacitors are more intense energy. Um, were you just getting at orgonite basically? Because orgonite basically is a bunch of capacitors smashed together. It's just a big dielectric. The resin and then the metal bits. It's just a big dielectric basically. So I'm like, should I just put a big chunk of orgonite right above my plants? And then the spirit or whatever was like, yeah, that's what I'm basically getting at. So all that work trying to reroute energy through wires from the orgonite. Of course that's the orgonite that I should be using to rain sunshine down on my plants. Um, so yeah, and Wilhelm Reich was like pushing the idea that inside his orgone accumulators, there's always this warmth. It was always warmer inside his orgone accumulators than it was on the outside, and he knew there was a definite temperature difference, and he wanted Albert Einstein to confirm that scientifically by running some tests, and he never really uh, got around to that or was interested in doing that. But James DeMeo, more recent investigator into orgone science, did actually confirm that and do a write up. So that is a real thing that's reproducible if you build the orgone accumulator. I built a little box about like 2.5 feet tall by like 1.5 feet square out of orgonite. It didn't have any crystals in it, but it did consist of resin and aluminum and some fiberglass sheet to reinforce it, and then acrylic walls. Um, but yeah, that's definitely warmer on the inside if you stick your hand down into it. Um, So yeah, so there's definitely warmth to it. So there's that potential energy. So yeah, so I'm just gonna throw one of my charger plates up here. I don't know which one. I'm gonna have to decide which one I want to part with, from whatever area I'm using it. So yeah, I'm gonna try that and see how things go. Turnips sprouting like in a day or two. That's probably gonna be my model organism for this experiment, for the next experiment rather. And I will have posted a video that day or the next day, or well, when they sprout, and see how they're doing. I just put this up today, so obviously it's not relevant to whatever's going on here. Some beans sprouted, but I just put these capacitors up today. So they do feel really warm when you do them in a string, but not so much when you do them in parallel. That kind of what you call it, diffuses the energy. Yeah. So electrolytic capacitors. You got to keep the polarity right. Negative to positive along. You can get a nice warm energy out, but yeah, not as much with orgonite that you get the warmth. I don't know. I guess Duncroft said if you're going for warmth to use sand and iron filings, which I agree. I mean, I did some iron filing things, and with a little bit of sand, and they are definitely warmer than the other orgonite, or not sand. I mean powdered crystals, but I mean like quartz sand is basically powdered crystals. But if you want to be true to the art, powdered crystals, not sand. He said they tend to, or yeah, he said they tend to warm it up. So there. Okay, so I'm diverting. Okay. Anyways, so that's that. I'm gonna move a charging plate above this and get rid of all this junk that's hanging around here. So see how it goes. So thanks for watching, and thanks for following along. Keep it updated. So this is Michael Ellis signing off, and I will update as soon as I get results.